Hello everybody, and welcome back to Kinkoi. We are your hosts, Man of Stage, here with...
Sarah and Prince.
And together we are Bridge Boys Broadcasting. Welcome, and thank you for tuning back in. Last time, it was a wild roller coaster of an episode. We ended up in a natural disaster kind of situation, and the power is out. Not great for food supplies, but great for Sylvie wanting to stay over for the night, so... that worked out nicely for her, just not for anybody else. Maybe us. We'll see. By tomorrow, huh?
Mite, 私らのことやってる.
Reina, who had been looking at her phone, happily showed us. It looked like she had been watching TV. They were covering the flood in the lower city, and...
丘の奥に取り残された学生たちとは、現在も連絡がつかない状態が続いています。
連絡つくよね。
Oh, we do have cell phones.
以上、現場からでした。とても心配ですね。
But that's not as good for ratings.
さて、ここで、実際に取り残されている学生と電話がつながっています。もしもし。
もしもし、もう本当に困ってて。あ、ネゴチンの声。
Yeah. Wait, is this really good or God?
Well, it says God, so...
Ah, God, so we are in contact.
The news was just plain disorganized lately. Well, that aside.
ですがよかった。シルビー様たちのことは秘匿できたようです。
They were primarily covering the flooding of the city on TV. They mentioned students left behind in a dormitory, but didn't reveal that it was Noble Academy. What's more, they didn't even allude to Sylvie's involvement, of which it was common knowledge that she was attending that very academy. This very academy.
この国の警察は優秀ですわね。
I've heard cynical comments that the CIA is also surprisingly adept at smothering information that's damaging to themselves, too.
Fine by me, so long as Sylvie wasn't affected by it. Which meant we could focus on our own safety and well-being.
このご時世、電気止まっててもなんだかんだ暇つぶしくらい楽勝だよね。
Until your cell phone battery dies.
You can't charge anything, so watch out.
There it is.
おっと。
She'd already changed it to a different news station, but shut it off.
最近の携帯電話ってテレビも見られるんだ。
Wait, so your country can create little flying owl robots that shoot frickin' laser beams from their eyes, but they don't know that you can watch TV on your cell phone?
Look. You didn't know? Oh, that reminds me. Your cell phone is...
A Nokia.
これよ。
She naturally had one, partially in the name of security, but she pulled out an old-fashioned flip phone.
またレアなの持ってるね。日本では主流だという日本の会社の携帯をわざわざ用意したのですが。
But I didn't spend a lot of money. It's a nice gesture, but it's rare to see anyone using a flip phone nowadays.
For better or worse, they had gone international and were occupying a foreign country.
でもいいな。私このパカパカって折りたたみができる携帯が好きよ。可愛くて。
Well, as long as you're happy, that's what's important.
Basically, the only feature you needed for security were phone, email, and GPS.
Smartphones are honestly overkill anyway. I only ever use mine for phone calls and email too.
What, does nobody text?
Same goes for any TV functionality. I haven't used it once since upgrading to my current one.
画面がちっちゃいもんね。
Yeah, exactly. I don't even watch much TV anyway. But if I were going to, I'd rather watch it on a huge screen.
I patted at a TV set up in the room. This baby gets so many miles.
This baby gets so many channels.
I wished I could at least have one this size.
その分今みたいな電気がないと見れないけどね。
Well, that's for a day or two. It's not really... Not really...
That was when I realized it. Even if I didn't care about TV, having no power meant my DVR also wasn't functional. Which meant the live broadcast of Maria Bishop I had set to record at 7 p.m. tonight.
Ah!
思い出した。
Reina had apparently realized it.
Ah! Damn it! Seriously, today of all days!
諸行無常だね。おー。
Based on Sylvie and the others' faces, they didn't understand.
Elizon, can you use your royal cheat powers to get your hands on like a generator or something?
考えてみましたが無理です。この量一つの暖房電力を賄う発電機など。
I don't give a shit about the heating system. I just need it to power my TV and DVR.
Just one TV is enough, and a recorder. I'm begging you. I'd even be fine with like the bike kind of generator that you have to pedal. Worst case.
あれ実在するんですの？
What should I do?
As I was busy freaking out. Bam!
Oops.
That was my neighbor telling us to shut up.
Sorry.
I went ahead and apologized.
お隣どなたか住んでいるの？
Oh, yeah, a delinquent.
へえ、お会いしたことがないわね。
She lives in a totally separate world from a princess, after all.
でも私、ノーブル学園の生徒なら全員顔を覚えているのよ。一度も見たことがないなんて不思議。
Everyone?
王室をはじめ貴族社会にとって人の顔を覚えることは最も大事な素養の一つですから。驚くことじゃございませんわ。私だって全員とは言わずとも学園の半分くらいは顔を覚えてますわよ。
Nobles were astounding.
I only remember the main characters.
Even then, that's iffy.
Even now, I only recognize around 80% of my classmates.
それは単にオーロが失礼なだけ。
Hey.
Hey, scratch yourself. Oh, shut it. I remember everyone I'm close to. This just means I don't have people I'm friendly with.
菊長の顔、パッと思い出せる？
Huh? Aww.
うわ、マジで覚えてないかよ。
I'll remember when I see him.
まあ、とにかく会ってみたいわね、お隣さん。
He's like me, where if you've asked me to describe people, right? Like at some point in fucking 20 years. And it's like, oh yeah, they're...
Man,
fuck.
I couldn't even get you to remember the combo for a fighting game move that you just did like 2 seconds after you did it.
Okay, that's because I don't know how I do moves in video games. I feel them. Like... It's like a Zen thing.
Yeah, well, your Zen is not a very helpful tip.
Be the controller.
As we chatted about this and that, the sun began to set, and it got really frickin' cold.
お腹が空いてきました。
That too.
The biggest issue with the survival lifestyle finally rears its head. Dinner time has come.
なんだかんだでお昼も食べてないものね。お昼は適当にお菓子とジュースでごまかしたので、さすがに空腹が気になってまいりますわ。
So then, don't you think I'm amazing for having a cup noodle stockpile?
神かよー、素敵。
When somebody asks if you're a god,
You say
Yes.
yes?
とても助かります。
Boy, it'd be really great too if we had some Stay Poofed marshmallows. Rude. All of the supplies in the convenience store were split between the other residents, but we refrained from taking our share, as we had my stock of cup noodles to fall back on.
いやー、悪いね、オーロ。ありがたくいただきます。
not happening. Whoop.
あれ
So this is all the food we have. If you want it, you'll have to compensate me somehow.
あらあら。唐突に汚いですわね、このゲロウは。
Twirls mustache that he suddenly grew.
Yep.
なんだ、何が欲しいんだ、お金か。
Ooh, that does sound sweet.
エル、私が自由に使えるお金っていくらくらいあったかしら。
1 million, billion, fulfillion,
It's gonna be some stupidly large number.
yen.
側近なら日本円で30億ほどでしょうか。
You see, the joke works.
緊急事態なら50億程度は可能ですわよ。
Hmm?
Like 5 billion would be what? Like $50 million? Something like that? You shouldn't throw around that kind of cash willy-nilly. You're making me want to demand money now. Unfortunately, mwahaha, money's not even fit to wipe your butt with here. This is a kingdom of carnage where food and water is everything. Mwahaha.
ちくしょう。
Yeah.
オーロは急にどうしたの？サバイバル映画とかに出てくるゲス役がやりたいんだよ。ほら、一人だけ銃持って調子こいて最後に殺される。
Yeah.
ぴったりな配役ですこと。
Now you want the food, don't you? So what will you give me? Me.
あ、この腕時計なんてどうかしら。ほんの4億円の品なんだけど。
Holy crap.
That's not the point.
I was terrified that as long as they weren't on the same wavelength with my game, the thought of possibly becoming rich would genuinely bring up the evil inside of me. The evil inside of me.
シルビー、ちょっとおいで。
She mumbled something quietly into her ear.
そんな風に言えばいいの？
Uh-oh.
I don't trust Reina.
No.
そう。日本人の礼儀。
Oh, no.
I don't trust Reina.
わかったわ。オーロ、もう一回最初から。
What will you give me, princess?
Why is your evil laugh a horse?
I don't know. Look, it's a reoccurring gag, apparently.
なんて汚い男なの？
Now we were talking. Oh shit, I peaked my microphone.
Yeah, say what you will, but right now I am the only one with food.
悔しい。
Her performance was a little overblown, but Sylvie's reaction hit all the right notes.
Does that mean my performance should be understated?
No, not at all. It had my sleazy side raring to go. Oh, God.
Let me see. Why don't you do something special for me then?
サービス？何でもいいから悔しがって。何をしろというの？
Good question. Yeah. First, I'll have you strip those troublesome clothes and provide some R-rated goodness.
And this is how he loses his arm.
Yep.
を求めるようなら首を飛ばしますが。
Or head.
Hey, that's, the head is the arm of the shoulders. Wait.
You want to run that by us again?
Nah. I'll spare you from that for today, but I can't give you any food.
悔しい。
While we were playing. Uh-oh. She kicked me!
今ですわ、お姉様。
It's too soon for the comeback.
They ended up holding me down.
まったく、いつまでもうだうだとオチがつかないから。でも楽しかったわ。ねえみんな、オーロといると楽しいでしょ？さっぱりわかりませんわ。
Anyway, you got me pinned down. Mind letting me go? It hurts.
They released my arms. Fortunately, I still have both of them. Somehow.
どうする？まだ遊ぶ？
Nah, I'm good for now. So, what about those cup noodles?
We had 6 packages. I also bought some beef jerky for when I got sick of the taste. Reina had also brought some random candies, so we had plenty of sweets. It shouldn't pose any sort of problem for a single meal.
カップ麺はいいとして、これお湯が必要なんですのよね。お湯はどういたしますの？
Yes, that was the issue. No open flames were allowed at this dorm, so all cooking apparatuses were electrical. That obviously went for all students as well as the cafe. Since we didn't have any ready access to a heat source, we couldn't even make hot water.
The hot water dispenser, even though it's insulated, the power has already been out for about 8 hours.
I tried opening it up, but it wasn't steaming anymore. Just a bit lukewarm.
If worse comes to worse, we'll have to make do with this.
ぬるいスープなんてやだ。美味しいわよ、水で作っても。やだ、気持ち悪い。
Sounds like it bothered us Japanese who were accustomed to eating it hot.
できれば温めたいですね。今夜は冷える。
The temperature gradually plummeted over the course of the night. It would surely be a cold evening without any heat. It was true I wished we could reclaim some heat through our meal at least.
How should we handle the hot water?
Then... Oh! Laser beam eyes!
Ah!
A mysterious beam of light shot from the toy and struck the pot in my hand. That'd do it.
It boiled.
すごいわ、キョロちゃん。
It was incredible, but don't aim at something in someone's hand. My life would have been in danger if it had missed. But...
くえ。あれ？バッテリー残量 3%。 メモリ待機モードに入ります。
Huh, I guess the laser uses a lot of power.
普通に喋るんだこの子。
Its usual gue is the personality quirk?
With that, it stopped functioning.
どうしましょう。充電できないのに。
Never the thought the last thing it did with its sci-fi tech would be to boil water.
犠牲は無駄にいたしませんわ。お湯が温かいうちにいただきましょう。
Good idea.
カップ麺は一人一つとして。6つあるから1つ余るわね。
We'll save that for tomorrow. Nah. I'll take that. It's okay, right?
もちろん、もともと気候のものだが。2つ食べるの？太るよ。
No. There's someone else.
Oh, okay. I put in the hot water and went outside. Housekeeping! I knocked at the next room over. Oh. No reply. She wasn't the type to ignore me. No sooner did I think that when...
うるせえな。だからいけないっつってんだろ。
A voice came from inside.
道が使えねえんだから仕方ないだろ。ああ、この情報は出すなよ。この学園にいるってネットとかでバレるから。とにかく今日は休む。以上だ。あとはそっちで話合わせとけ。知らねえよ。そっちでなんとかしろ。
Must have been on the phone, and she was yelling to boot. It might be best to give her a moment, but I had already put the hot water in the ramen. I knocked one more time, and when I did...
客が来たからもう切るぞ。とにかく今日の出演はなしだ。じゃあな。なんだよ。
She came out.
Hey, that call was... that okay?
ああ、ちょうどいいわ。切る理由ができて。
I worried about my timing, but I guess it worked out.
なんか用か。
I'm sure you've heard about today's meal situation.
ああ。何もないからみんなにコンビニのもん配って。あとは各人で、だろ？
Right, and so... Here, a present.
うん。
I handed over the cup noodles. Ria's eyes went wide.
いらねえよ。お前が食えば？
I've got my own helping, and enough for everyone I'm close to. This is the 6th share. If there's any 6th person I'm close to in the storm, it's you.
あっそ。
She went into her room with her cup noodles in hand. Pretty shameless, but her honesty was one of her good points. I headed back.
お隣さんに？
Yeah.
なんだ、ついでにご挨拶したかったのに。
She mentioned wanting to meet her earlier, hadn't she?
どんな人なのかしら？
Like I said, she's a Yankee.
アメリカ人ですの？
Wait, when did he say that?
It would have made sense in Japanese.
Okay.
Doesn't Yankee refer to New Yorkers? I mean, she can be kind of a black sheep.
ソルティレージュにはキュロちゃんがいるけど、日本は機械人間を作ったの？
That wasn't what I was implying at all.
Princesses didn't seem familiar with euphemisms for lowlives.
いわゆるニューギャングです。日本の文化で勉強したでしょ？ああ、不良、そっちの。
Oh, because delinquent.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
あれよね、 バス停の看板持って盗んだバイクで走りながら待ってたぜこの時をよとか言いながら夜の校舎の窓を割って歩くのよね。
Sylvie, you gotta stop using manga as a reference material.
You mixed up so much stuff, and all that sounds like it came out of the 80s. She's an ordinary girl with a small smoking habit. A large smoking habit.
なるほど。
Ellison squinted her eyes a bit. There was a residual smell of cigarette smoke in this room, so she must have been suspicious.
ユニークそうな方ね。シルビー様、あまりご興味を持たれぬように。
Secondhand smoke is bad for your health.
She's not a bad person, okay?
I introduced her poorly. Must have triggered Ellison's internal security sensors.
だが不良というのは。
That scared me. Something smashed violently against the door. Everyone went stiff, wondering what was going on, when the door opened on its own. Ah, it's a ghost! Space ghost! And a bag of some sort was hurled inside. Did we just get dump sacked? I spotted a hand for a moment. It was Rhea.
Hey, Rhea.
Alright, good to see you too. I tried to stop her, but she just waved her hand like she didn't care and closed the door.
Wave your hand like you just don't care.
All that left behind was the bag. It had several metallic items inside.
Canned food?
わっ、コンビーフだ。うまそう。
There were 5 cans of corned beef, 5 of yakitori, and 5 of sweet corn. 15 in total.
お礼でしょうか。
Now that I thought about it, she was the sort who always holed up in her room. I bet she would have a stockpile of food.
リアちゃん柄は悪いけど結構筋を通すっていうかかっこいい系の子だからね。
You know her?
知らないよ。でもあっち目立つから。
Hey, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, there you go.
All of this for one bowl of cup noodles. Feels bad I couldn't do more.
This isn't equivalent exchange at all.
Yes, I'll take it though. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
コンビーフ食べてみたかったの。
It was a rare occasion, so we decided to accept. Our dinner turned out to be much better than a single bowl of noodles.
超絶ジャンクだけどね。
More or less, the only dietary fiber is in the corn.
Delicious corn.
いいじゃない。とても美味しいわ。
Yes.
味と内容に文句はありませんが、困ったものです。
The corn?
たまのことです。これも経験ですわ。ごちそうさまでした。やっぱり気持ちが収まらない。お隣さんに会いに行ってくるわ。姫様、しかし。危なくないったら、ねえ、オーロ。
Not in the violent sense, at least.
She might yell, though.
行くわ。
Sylvie left Ellison behind and walked out of the room. Her guard looked a bit worried, but Sylvie would probably disapprove of being so on guard the very first time meeting someone. I guaranteed that Rhea wasn't a bad person, so she decided to leave her be.
お姉様は誰とでも仲良くなってしまう達人ですからね。
I believe that. That's very much how we ended up in the situation we're in presently.
Actually, yes.
だね。
Yeah, she is.
嬉しい半分、 困るの半分です。
If I had to say, Sylvie herself was friendly, but everyone around her thought she was out of place. Regardless. Was it the result of her princess training? I did think her ability to make a favorable outcome out of each and every encounter was one of her stronger attributes.
私も助けられましたわ。
Huh? Do you have a
何で
backstory
もござい
too?
ません。
Absolutely. She whispered too quietly for me to hear.
ただいま。
I take it went well? Sylvie came back before we had a chance to worry.
Welcome back. You don't look too satisfied.
For someone who is usually all smiles, her dreariness was plain to see.
会ってもらえなかったわ。何を言ってもうるさいって。
Nobody sees a wizard, not nobody, not know how.
もう。会う約束がない点では、こちらの落ち度ですが。
Wait, an appointment? It's not a doctor's office.
にしても、いささか失礼な方ですね。
That's correct.
Yeah. Just ignore it. I assure you she's not a bad person, but that doesn't make her a great person either.
Perfectly adequate. Being rejected left Sylvie feeling depressed.
にしてもあの声、どこかで。
Ah!
どうしました？
I sat on the piano!
Sorry to change the subject, but it's 7 o'clock. Everyone be quiet for the next 2 hours or so.
That's when the creatures come out. They move around based on sound.
は？
Yeah, I never saw that either, Mina.
I launched the TV app on my phone. Okay.
あなたが選ぶ21世紀のアーティストトップ 10!
Ah.
何？音楽番組？
Yeah.
視聴者に取ったアンケートで人気のあるアーティストが生で出演するってやつだって。
It was the one being advertised this morning.
日本に来て数ヶ月なのでよく存じ上げないのですが、こうしたテレビのアンケートはいつ取っているんですの？
Usually they call up right as you're about to eat dinner.
日本に100年住んでてもわからないから知らなくていいよ。
It was the program where Maria Bishop was going to hold her live performance. It wasn't looking like I could record it, but I at least wanted to watch.
I'm watching it alone, so you guys can chat over there or go to Raina's room, whatever. I have this lotion for no reason at all.
Is that the reason he likes Maria Bishop so much?
Look, I don't know.
なんで？マリア・ビショップを見てると、そんな気持ち悪い顔でブヒブヒ言っちゃうの？
Well, that does seem to be the implication based off of that previous statement.
Look, you know why, Raina. Nothing like that. Just make absolutely sure you don't look at my face during the performance.
They turn to look at you and it's just like the scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark where they open up the Ark and their faces just melt. Spoilers, by the way, if for some reason you have not seen that movie.
Spoilers for a 40-year-old movie?
I didn't know what sort of face I'd make, but I bet it'd be nothing short of strange. The sort of face I'd never want girls in my class to see. Or any girls, for that matter. Probably kind of like the face I was making on the date with Ella-san that got me weird looks. I sprawled out on my bed and took my distance from the others. But...
マリア・ビショップ。オーロもマリア・ビショップが好きなの？
Ah!
Sylvie popped up beside me. She was staring at the tiny screen of my smartphone.
Sylvie-san?
So close.
お姉様、殿方の部屋に上がり込むのはちょっと。 こうしないとテレビ見られないじゃない。マリア・ビショップが出るんでしょ。
Sylvie had gotten her usual cheerful smile back.
シルビーはマリア・ビショップ好きなんだ。ああ、この件はオフレコでお願いします。
Everybody acts like this is a really embarrassing thing. It's very confusing to me.
王族が芸能人に入れ込むと、プロパガンダに利用されかねませんの。
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite shop on the Citadel.
Yep.
でもすごく好きなのは、日本に来た理由の一つなのよ。
Wow.
This was some unexpected common ground.
オーラも好きなんだ。
Well, yeah, I guess I don't hate her.
毎朝毎晩あの黒髪を見て、チン爆裂してますって言えよ。
Shut the fuck up, Raina.
Now, you've got to ask the question, if we had the 18 plus patch, would that have been bleeped?
Probably.
Yeah, it's funny.
Shut up.
チン幻聴です。
Raina was never seen again.
好きなんだ。趣味が合うわね。
The black hair also makes your ding-a-ling explode?
Yeah.
In one way or another, we ended up watching together. Then again, Maria Bishop was definitely the most highly valued brand in the Japanese musical industry today. They were probably dragging this out since she wouldn't go on for a while. It was a 2-hour program that started at 7 p.m., so it'd probably be around 8:15? I would watch the chat-riddled program until then. Since it was a smartphone screen, Sylvie and I were the only ones focused on it.
日本の音楽は完全なアイドル産業なのね。
The first to come out, which may well have been expected given the boys they had gathered to thrill, were idols from a famous office. While it was presented in a dancing format, the choreography was simple. The camera stayed glued to the face of the lead singer, who stood front and center.
Well, they call it the music industry, but 70% of its ratings are decided by the faces of the ones singing.
Next up was an idol group of just over 40 girls. After that came an artist that recently made her movie debut. I wouldn't say this applied to them all, but they were generally pretty low-level singers.
やっぱり先進国はどうしてもそうなるのかしら。
Is it not that way in Sortilege?
Sortilege, everybody has talent.
Maybe.
私たちは音楽は聴くものというより自分でやってみるものという感じかしらね。
Yep.
その点は我々の方が特殊だとして、こうしたアイドル性重視の音楽はどうかと思いますわ。音楽が音楽である必要がありませんもの。かっこつけてれば歌が上手くなるなんて聞いたことありませんわ。
She was a somewhat fastidious princess. I did think what she said was accurate, though. Rather than calling something music, I wish they'd just be more critical of the music itself. If you wanted to see handsome men, cute girls, and happy-looking celebrities, you could just buy a photo album. It wasn't just music. These days, people would butt in and act like they were experts, doing movies, recordings, cooking, sports, fishing, and so on and so forth just because they were idols. I did think it was strange to act like it was all okay just because they were stylish. And when that thought came to mind...
あら、私はこういうのも好きよ。私たちのやっていることとは違うというだけで否定するのは良くないわ、みな。
Sylvie quickly acted like the big sister with her usual mild tone.
確かに彼らは歌に、音楽そのものに純粋とは言えない。でも、彼らの時間を作ることには純粋よ。目いっぱい歌って、踊って、笑って、テレビのこちらに楽しい時間を提供したがってる。音楽の一番の価値は、そこでしょ。
Creating a good time, huh? It made sense when she put it that way. I didn't think showing off made everything okay, but it was a quality inherent in moments made by music. It might be important then.
ごめんなさい。ミナの言うことも間違ってないったら。ほら、一緒に見ましょう。はい。
It wasn't stern enough to be a lecture, but more of a mild chiding, and Sylvie ended the discussion right then and there. Thank goodness I didn't say I agreed. Still, what Sylvie just said was a fresh point of view. They were genuine in creating and living in the moment. Could that be...
さあ続いてはいよいよ皆さんお待ちかねマリア・ビショップさんが登場します。
Oh!
来た。
It was already 8:13, and the headliner for the event would finally be making an appearance! With that, a massive 3-minute commercial break began. Of course it did.
Only 3 minutes, only 3 minutes. It's happening! I'm really excited!
生放送で見るの初めてよ。あんまりテレビ出ないもんね、マリア。
That might actually be a good thing.
Solitary performances increased their value through scarcity. It was a world where those who appeared on TV were the victors. A world where if you used connections or whatever else to constantly be on camera in front of a viewer and sell your face, you would win. However, that was exactly why someone who rarely appeared on television, yet whom fans eagerly waited for, looked so radiant. Even a long commercial break didn't bother me.
さあ皆さん、いよいよ今回のアンケートでも女性部門ぶっちぎり1位を飾ったアーティストマリア・ビショップさんの時間です。
Ooh, too soon.
Oh, they did a proper count of the surveys?
雑な判定。
ですが、残念なことにマリア・ビショップさん、今日は急な用事で出演できなくなってしまいました。
Boo.
You know, like the anime glass shatters? I imagine that for Ouro.
Yeah.
Huh?
The host and the idols had a foolish back and forth going, "That's too bad," and "What can you do?" Idols sure did have it rough. They had them downplaying the ineptness of TV stations like this too. But for us viewers, our expressions were nothing but serious.
Hey, Sylvie, can you use your royal crush powers to... Wait.
Royal crush powers.
Royal crush powers!
Oh yeah, it's a Royal Rumble with a Royal Crush powers.
Hey, Sylvie, can you use your royal cheat powers to crush this TV station?
Just like the end of Cabin in the Woods.
いけません。潰す潰さないはともかく。ねえ、エル。私も久しぶりに腹が立ちそうよ。
What does the scouter say about her power level?
It's over 9,000!
What? 9,000?
お姉様が怒った？シルビーが怒ることは珍しい。
They swindled us!
Even if you were to assume the worst case scenario and that it was beyond their control that she couldn't perform live, It was an issue that they said, "Here she comes," up until the commercial shortly ago.
テレビが視聴率低下に困る理由の一端が垣間見えたね。今頃局は抗議の嵐かな。
Absolutely. I want to storm in there and protest right now, too.
The next time I see Joe Kasaki, she's gonna get a piece of my mind, damn it. Just kidding. No, she won't.
Yeah.
Better put my smartphone to use as an actual phone.
あ、ちょっと待ってよ、オーロ。
But before I could...
Oh?
It must have been to fill time. They put on cobbled together footage from all of Maria's previous performances. Including footage of her singing, of course.
やっぱりいい歌ね。すぐ機嫌直った。このお優しさからお姉様はソルティレージュでは仏のシルビアと呼ばれてますのよ。仏教あるの？
My anger hadn't completely subsided yet, but...
Well, I guess I'll give up on making a protest call. It's a waste of electricity.
やっぱりこの歌だわ。国にいた頃にイギリスのショーだかなんだかで聞かされて、すぐに恋に落ちちゃったもの。
I know how you feel.
誰かさんは髪しか見てないんじゃ？
Shut up, I'm in the middle of appreciating her.
Hey, hey.
I listened intently to the soothing song. I mean, yeah, I adored her appearance as much as could be. But that wasn't the only reason I was addicted to her. Sylvie seemed satisfied.
これだけでも満足だけれど。でもやっぱり生で聞きたかったわね。
Yeah, same.
こういう映像ばかりだと顔がよく見えないのよね。どれもそっぽ向いてるのばかり。
That's a good point.
Maria Bishop looked down a lot during her performances.
顔を出さないならブサイクなんじゃない？
No, she isn't.
You take that back.
近い近い。授賞式の映像では顔が出ているものもあるわ。すごく可愛いのよ。日本人らしく童顔ですが、私も可愛らしいと思いました。
It was normal to plaster makeup on the less attractive celebrities in order to further sell themselves, but Maria Bishop went to great lengths to hide her face for whatever reason. I wondered why.
理由があるかは存じませんが、それもミステリアスでいい雰囲気作りにはなっておりますわね。そうね。
I turned my attention back to the phone screen. They may have been short on time, as the editing was sloppy and repeated the same footage on loop, again and again. As far as I was concerned, that was nice in its own right.
彼女はとにかく時間作りが本当にうまくて、そして一生懸命だわ。この歌を聴いている一時、私たちも彼女の世界に、彼女の時間に引きずり込まれてしまう。そんな力がある。彼女が自分の時間を心から大切に使っていると伝わってくるから。
I agreed. She worked for dear life. Not just at singing, that was clear from the footage, and from her inadvertent motions. You couldn't comprehend someone's powers of concentration from their appearance alone, but it was something you could convey. And that was something in which she was especially skilled at. I just got that feeling deep down in my heart.
彼女のゴールデンタイムは今なのね。
Do you guys get paid every time you say the phrase golden time?
Well, there is that little R in the upper right. I don't.
At some point, the room had gone quiet. This had to be one of those moments you describe as being lost in the music. It was too bad that we didn't get to see her live. But I was glad I watched this program today.
あらところで、
Nah.
この
What's
声
up?
ってどこかで聞いたことないかしら。
Huh? I mean, I've heard this song a ton of times.
ううん、そうじゃなくて、つい最近、というか、ついさっき聞いたような。
Huh? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Low battery.
Ah, crap.
My smartphone gave a warning notification. 2 hours of watching TV wore down the battery and there was only 5% remaining.
What a bummer. I guess that's all for today.
Maria Bishop's screen time had just wrapped up, so I closed the TV app.
Our entire day was dictated by this blackout, huh?
ですね。ちょっと目がしょぼしょぼする。
The lights had been out the whole time, so focusing on the screen would wear your eyes out.
それに、ちょいと眠いですわ。
Man, Mina's yawn made me yawn.
It's contagious. It wasn't quite 9 o'clock yet, but that was enough to make everyone drowsy.
Maybe it's about time we called it a day.
そうしましょう。寝床の用意なども必要です。せっかくのお泊まりなんだからもっとおしゃべりしたい。
You can do that stuff before you go to sleep, but you can't do it in my room.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can't go home either, so yeah.
Yeah. So you stay
オーロは
here?
一緒に寝ないの？
Let me flip that around and ask, would that actually be okay?
No, it would not.
いいと思いますか？
I was directing that question to Sylvie.
Everyone dispersed from my room. The 4 of them would apparently be sleeping at Reina's. It was spacious enough, and I was lending a futon, so it should work out. Wait, is her room significantly bigger than ours, or...?
Maybe, actually.
Okay, all that left was to sleep. I couldn't take a bath, so after a cursory wipe down of my body...
It's freezing.
I slipped into my futon. It was naturally tough to fall and stay asleep. I wasn't sure if it was because it was only 9 o'clock or because it was freezing. Or if it was because a tinge of Sylvie's bittersweet scent had permeated into the futon.
Kiniro Loveriche.
Well, that was a roller coaster of an episode. We were stuck in the power outage on our day off, but we at least got to see Maria Bishop, sort of? So that was exciting.
But not live.
No, but not live, although it seems as though Sylvie might be onto something that I think we already know. But of course, the last one to know will be Ouro.
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
Yes, he is. But for now, we are the Bridge Boys, signing off.